Hey, Trucker Steve here. We're doing the in-cab pre-trip, the pilot program. You're going to have a checklist. Which I have a checklist. You'll go over each item. You're only required to check the items that are on your checklist. I will do above the minimum. I will do a couple items that are not on the checklist. So in your school, whatever school you go into is in the pilot program, that school has every right. They might give you more items on that in-cab pre-trip or on your pre-trip outside. They maybe expect a little bit more from you. So basically when you do your test, you'll get the check-off list. All you're required to do is check off items or inspect items that are on your checklist. My wheels are chocked in appropriate position to prevent vehicle movement. I have them chocked in the rear so the truck doesn't drift backwards. My seatbelt. Check the seatbelt. No rips or frays, and it fastens properly. My windshield is clean, clear, no obstructions to my view, no illegal stickers. My mirrors are properly adjusted for me. Now at that time, I'll come back and I'll check off every item that I have done. My air horn and my city horn are both working properly. I'll go back and check that off. I'm going to do a safe start. First, I'm going to put my key to on position to make sure my ABS light comes on and goes off, indicating that the system is working properly. I am in neutral. I'll do the start. Once again, I got that part. Check that off. I'm going to do my lights and indicators. My left and my right indicators are working properly. My high beam indicator is working properly. My four-way hazards are on. They are working properly. My DEF, all lights are on, and that indicator is working properly. I'm going to check my gauges. My oil pressure gauge should be reading between 30 and 75 psi's. Temperature gauge 160 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. My voltage is between 12 and 14 volts. My air pressure is now reading 120 max in both gauges. And I'll come back to my check-off list, check them off. That did all that. That's good. I'm going to check my cab heater and defrosters. Both of them are working properly. Go back to my check-off list and I can check that off. My fire extinguisher is located behind the passenger door, fully rated, properly charged, and security mounted to the floor. My reflective triangles are behind me, and they are all present. My spare bulbs and fuses are located up here. They are present. Come back to my checklist, and once again, I'll check that off. Did that. Take a deep breath. Look over your checklist. Look over your checklist. Now, I don't have a checklist. I just put a paper to symbolize what it is. You will be receiving a checklist. All you have to do is inspect items that are on your checklist. Okay, we're going to do a parking brake check, a tug test. Release the trailer. Put it in first gear since my wheels are chocked in the back. Come off the clutch a little bit. No resistance. There it is. Parking brake's working properly. I'm going to switch them over real quick. Now I'm going to pull against the trailer brakes. That's working properly. I'm going to explain to you, examiner, my service brake check. I would drive 5 miles an hour forward, apply my brakes firmly. This combination vehicle should come to a complete stop and not move to the left or the right. And once again, go back and check your check off. Check that off that you did that. Okay? So I'm going back over. I'm no rush. Doesn't take that long to do this pre-trip. So I'll check off and make sure I did everything that's on the list. Remember, like I said, I'm going above the minimums. A couple items are not on your checklist. Now I'm going to do an air brake leak test. I'm going to look over here and I'm going to rev it up a little bit and see if I can see the needles are moving. I'm going to bring it up to 120. 120 PSIs in both gauges. I'm going to turn the engine off. Now I'm going to turn the key to on position to supply power to my gauges. I'm going to push in my 2 valves, my parking and trailer brake valves, and I'm going to allow air pressure to stabilize. Needles have stopped moving, air pressure stabilized. Now I'm going to firmly apply my foot to the service brake, firmly, and once again, I'm going to allow air pressure to stabilize. Air pressure has stabilized. Examiner, would you please time me 1 minute?
1 minute is up.
1 minute. You was time me start timing now? 1 minute? Does this say yes?
Yes.
Say
1 minute is up.
Thank you. This combination vehicle did not lose more than 4 PSIs in 1 minute. Now, I'm going to check my low air warning light and buzzer devices. I'm going to fan down to about 60 PSIs, at which time my low air warning light and buzzer should come on. Low air warning light and buzzer did come on, indicating that the system is working properly. Now I'm going to fan down to about 30 PSIs, at which time both my valves, or tractor protection valve operation check, both valves should pop out about 30 PSIs. Both valves have popped out, indicating that the dash valve is working properly. That concludes my in-cab pre-trip. And then from here, I'll look at my checklist and I'll go into an outside light check. Or I recommend that you do your outside light check at the end of your pre-trip, at the very end, and your examiner can assist you in that. Hope this video is of some help.